Hello, I'm Rico Cavella. Welcome to this episode of Fearless Aging. And the title of this episode is Living to 100 with Resilience, Joy, and Purpose. That sounds good to me. And our expert guest today is a friend of mine. He is Dr. Joseph Casiani. He's a geropsychologist, an author, and founder of the Living to 100 Club. With over 35 years working with older adults and senior living communities, he focuses on the psychology of aging well, resilience, and purpose. He also hosts the Living to 100 podcast and created the Better, Longer, and Happier series to help people and professionals spark meaningful conversations about healthy longevity. His mission to turn aging on its head by showing how mindset and lifestyle can help us live better and live longer. So, Joseph Casiani, thanks so much for being here.
Rico, thanks so much too for the invitation. I am looking forward to this. I always enjoy talking about psychologically healthy aging, so I'm really glad to be part of this program of yours.
Well, that's really what it's all about. It's really all about the mindset, and that's yeah, as you know, that's the first thing I work with my with clients and things is you got to change your mindset first. You got to believe that you can be healthy and joyful and live purposely no matter what your age. So that's this is such an important topic. So well, let's just really begin with that. So we're talking about living with resilience and with joy and with purpose, which everybody I know wants to.
Hmm.
Let's start with purpose. 'Cause I think that's the most important thing. If you find your purpose right and you're living with purpose, then you can be more resilient and more joyful, right?
Yeah, of course, we need purpose. We need a sense of purpose. We need a reason to put a smile on our face when we get up in the morning. There's in my experience, there's such a history of aging being a period of downfall and decline,
Hmm.
and I like to shift that whole mindset, and many people are also, helping to get rid of that stereotype. But there's a lot of fear about aging, and there's a lot of difficulty when we kind of encounter those setbacks. Maybe the falls or the widowhood or loss of driving or whatever's going on. So I like to help people understand there is a lot of opportunity. There's a lot of upside to the aging process, and one of the ingredients is having some sense of purpose. And we retire and we look at kind of slowing down and maybe retreating. I think we need to stay more engaged than ever.
Hmm.
And I talk about maybe taking a part-time job or doing some volunteer work or attending some senior communities, some senior centers, or being part of some other senior opportunities. It's all about having that sense of mission. It's something that gives us some sense of identity. We learn from the blue zones, people around the world who are living to 100 and over. These centenarians have a sense of purpose, whether it's involved in their community or teaching or any number of things. They have this sense of purpose, and that's one of the ingredients for longevity. So you know, purpose is that is that connection with something that we love to do, and it can change. We can evolve. We can find new purpose over time, but it's important that we have that sense of engagement.
Yeah, no question about it. I just want to add to that. Yeah, I mean, as we go through life in different phases of our life, we have different purposes. But as you say, as most people, as they age and say you're in a retirement mode, then you really got to step up and realize that you are still here for a purpose and you need to contribute. And as we age, we gain wisdom and knowledge, right?
Of
And
course,
so we need to find some way that we can give back that wisdom and knowledge that we've acquired and so we can help to make it a better world for other people. So I think so a good start is just to see something that you know that you're good at and it can help other people, right?
yeah, exactly. And the challenges, those potholes that come along, they're just part of the journey. I mean, my business is living to 100. I say that's a great destination, but what's more important is the process that we go through, the decisions that we encounter, our lifestyle changes. That's what's key. Living to 100 is a great goal, but it's the process, it's the journey,
Hmm.
and again, that decision making that helps us to stay positive and not dwell on what's wrong or what's missing or what we can't do anymore. Let's focus on what we can do, what we still have, things that are in our lives, and things to be grateful for. So there's
Absolutely.
a lot to this kind of evolving into a healthy, psychologically healthy older adult.
Okay, yeah. Well, well, you already that already kind of touched on it, but next let's talk about being resilient because we definitely need to be resilient because life is full of challenges, no
Yeah.
question about it. And especially as we age, I mean, we are going to have other challenges that we don't have when we're younger, particularly health-wise and injuries
Mhm.
and different things. So we're always going to have some challenges to deal with. And so talk a little bit about how you recommend people, what can they need to do to become more resilient?
Mhm. Yeah, well, a lot of it is understanding that these challenges can have some emotional toll. They take a toll on people, and I mean, we get knocked down, and the saying is, well, we have to get back up off the mat. That's easier said than done. Maybe after a loss, or maybe a fire destroyed our community, our home, or maybe hurricanes, devastated the neighborhood. Whatever's going on, there's always these challenges, and resilience is the ability to not just bounce back, but to understand the emotional process because it does affect us emotionally. We have to respect those emotions. We have to understand that there is a time to grieve and go through the loss or whatever, and that's what allows us to get back up on our feet. We can't just kind of bounce back after a loss of a spouse, maybe after
Mhm.
50 years. We have to respect the emotions that come with that loss, and that's the key to helping us to evolve and continue to grow and get back up off the mat. So resilience, some we talk about is this something that's you know learned or something that's innate, and can anybody? I think anybody has this resilience as long as we're taking a breath. I think we always have that reserve, that sense of um, motivation or energy or vitality or whatever we want to call it. Resilience is the popular term now, but it's always inside us and we can tap into it. Sometimes we feel like it's gone. Sometimes we feel like I don't have anything left. But I maintain as long as we're taking that a breath, we're still alive and we can still tap into. I mean, look at some people that have really declined and physically impaired, like Stephen Hawking. I mean, how did he have that motivation to write a book after he's totally paralyzed
Mhm.
and he used sensors connected to from his cheeks to the computer to type? I mean, to me, that's resilience. That's facing and adapting to the challenge. So it's not an easy road. I know that. I've seen that over the
Yeah.
years in nursing home patients. It's not an easy road. But at the same time, we can always tap into that sense of resilience that we have.
Yeah, and the good news is that we can because there's so many examples of people that are just like you mentioned. There's some people that have some really serious challenges, and still they don't let it hold them back. They still uh, contribute. They still have a purpose. They
Yeah,
still can do so. So there's even though it seems tough at times, and even if you're just feeling down because you're older and you're not as healthy and you're not as energetic and you're not too happy with all those kind of things, you just got to realize, hey, that's the nature of the business. But you can rise above anything, and that I like how you said, if you can still breathe,
yeah,
you're still here. You still have a purpose, and you can be resilient. So that's a
yeah,
great message, Joe.
yeah,
Yeah,
good,
yeah. Thank you for that. All
sure.
right, so let's talk about joy now. How about living with joy? Give us some ideas of
Yeah,
because life's supposed to be joyful. It's not
yeah,
supposed to be all serious and all
yeah.
stressed out. We're meant to be joyful human
Hmm.
beings.
Well, that's the beautiful part about aging, in my opinion, because we're not defined by who we were yesterday, and by that I mean we have a blank screen ahead of us. we can create whatever kind of script, whatever kind of character, whatever kind of role we want, and we can paint this new picture on the blank screen and create this joyful world. Find things that help us to kind of redefine or recreate or, you know, start some new chapters. It's wide open. We're not restricted by maybe the identity we had as an accountant or a teacher or a doctor or a nurse or a mom, stay-at-home mom. That's fine for the past, but we can always reinvent ourselves, and that's the beauty. It's wide open, and we can look for things that bring us joy. Maybe going back to school, or maybe taking a class in another language, or maybe picking up a musical instrument, or maybe volunteering. But whatever brings us joy, it's we now have the license, we have the opportunity to do that. You know, you mentioned my card decks. Well, I have these 12 modules, and
Hmm.
each module is on a different topic. And the last number 12, I wrote all about what opportunities lie ahead for older adults. And there are hundreds, maybe thousands of directions we can go in to bring joy into our lives because it's unlimited. And the beauty is, if we have that positive outlook, we have that determination, we have that motivation. That's where we can go after these things that bring us some joy.
Yeah, that's a great message, Joe. Yeah, there's plenty of things to be joyful about. Just
Yeah,
get out in nature and be really experience and appreciate and enjoy the beautiful planet that we live on. That's what I love to do. It gives me a lot of joy to get out there. Okay, well, we just have couple of minutes left here. I know you have some great deals that you want to offer people here for Christmas, and so talk about a couple of your specific products
sure.
that you have available.
Yeah, happy to. I have available, and Rico will distribute this to listeners, but it's my 9 tips to make living longer more enjoyable. You know, I
That's
worked
great.
as a psychologist over the years, and I came up with a lot of insights about what makes this um, aging journey more beneficial. And this is a collection. It's about 15 pages, but you're free to download this. It's a PDF, so you can download it and print it. But it's got my 9 tips to aging well.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, that's a great gift. Can people find it on your website?
yes,
Okay.
go to, I have a few different websites. Living to 100.solutions is an online store.
Oh, dot solutions.
Dot
Okay.
solutions. It's an online store, and it has this document, my 9 tips, and it has a number of other resources. The other one I'd like to mention is this new workbook that I've created for families. It's called a Conversation Starter Workbook. So you can keep conversations going with your relatives, maybe your adult children or grandchildren, or your parents or your grandparents. It helps families share the stories and strengthen the connections. To my mind, what's really important is the process. The content is great, what the answers are to all these questions, but it's the process that really means more because that allows us that engagement and connection. You'll find this on my website as well, living100.solutions. It's available as a printed document. It's a nice uh, printed document with a hardcover, a soft cover rather, and also you can get a digital copy. So you can download that immediately and get started. You can fill it out as a digital document. So
All right.
the other one is my card decks. I know we're running short of time, but you'll find 12 of these card decks. These are written for activity directors, people looking for uh, exercises, discussion topics, links to videos, and there's 12 topics, and they're all available on the website.
Very good, Joe. Well,
Yeah,
thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for the work that you're doing and all these great. Thanks for that great gift for our audience. So, I
sure.
highly recommend you go to Joe's website. We will put those that links in the show description, so you can go there and get his gift and also check out all the products he has there for you as well. So, thank you, Joe. That was great.
You're welcome, Rico. Thank you for the invitation again. And
Yeah,
you keep up the good work as well.
thank you
You're
so
doing
much.
great work.
Thank you very much. And thank everybody for being here. And that's it for this episode.